All right, what's up, my peeps? Joshua Smithy with another GSD Mode podcast real estate tip, where every single week I come to delivering different tips, tactics, and strategies to help you get shit done inside your real estate business and help ensure that you are crushing and dominating your overall real estate goals. All right, so today I'm here to talk to you about how to close more real estate deals, how to get more closings, close more transactions by leading the overall process. Now, here's something that's really important for that. I want you to remember, want you to understand before we jump into it, because I'm going to do a deep dive into this here today. It is your job to be the unemotional professional that people are trusting you with helping them accomplish their real estate goals. So it is up to you to be that professional, to be that unemotional professional that is leading the overall process. And I can promise you right now, if we break down each stage of the overall real estate game, each kind of element of the process here, like when it comes to lead gen, lead follow-up, the appointment conductions, leading the client process, past client process, if you start intentionally leading each element of this process, you will greatly, massively increase your overall conversions and start closing a hell of a lot more deals, probably with the same amount of activities that you're doing right now by just refining this stuff in. So again, I want to do a deep dive. We're going to go into each of these different, and do a deep dive into examples of how to lead each one of these different processes and whatnot. So just remember, though, you are the professional. It is your job to be the unemotional professional that is leading each step of this process. So an example with this, and again, we're going to go into a lot of different examples with this, but let's just say I got a buyer client. Right? So, and by a buyer client, I'm going to define that is, okay, I got a signed buyer broker agreement in place, got a proof of funds in place or a pre-qual in place, right? I look at a client as ready, willing, able, committed. So that's what I look at that's how I define a buyer client, right? Okay. So then from there, let's just say I got this buyer client. Well, what's the next step? I got to get them on my schedule to go out there and start looking at homes. So if they're not on my schedule to go out there and start looking at homes, okay, I have a message that goes out every Monday to them, every Thursday to them, so I can lead that step to get to the next step, which is I got to get them on my calendar to schedule look at homes so I can get them under contract and keep the process moving forward. Right? Okay, so then from there, now they're on my calendar. Now we're out there showing homes. Okay, well, I have a very, effective process built in. Where it's like when we're showing homes, okay, at the end of each, we're going to go view this house. At the end of this house, we have a survey, process, where we grade each property, 1, 2, or 3. 3 is, this is definitely not a fit. Never bring back here again. 2 is, it's okay. Don't love it. Don't hate it. Number 1 is, hey, this is a very strong possibility. So, because at the end of, let's just say I'm going out there and showing 5 homes. Okay, my job is to narrow that down to the number 1. Maybe we got 2 number 1s. We go back to those 2 number 1s. I want to narrow this down to the number 1. Okay, once we got it to their number 1, then I have my intentional, the way that I lead, that next step of the process is our offer writing script. Once we've identified their number 1, where it's like, okay, what's every progression of the game that we are playing, and how do we lead the process as the unemotional professional leader to get to the next phase, to get to the next step. That's what we're here to talk about today. I'm going to break down each step of the funnel. So from leads to our lead, from lead gen to lead follow-up, to appointments, to clients, to past clients, to even for those of you that are team leaders or broker owners, to leading your agents as well. And then we're going to cover all of this here today. Now, real quick, before we jump into this, look, if you are a real estate agent, if you are a team leader, if you are a brokerage owner and your business is not exactly where you want or need it to be, maybe your business is declining, maybe it's stagnant and it's just not growing, it's just kind of staying steady. Maybe it's growing, just not growing at the pace that you want. But it's like you're operating down here, but your true potential is way up here. You just do not know exactly what you must do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. If that is you, I invite you to schedule a 100% free, 100% zero pressure Zoom coaching call with me personally. This is going to be a 60-minute, 1-hour in-depth coaching call with just you and I. And here's what we're going to break down and talk about on this coaching call. We're going to talk about where your business is at, what your 12-month goals are, what your long-term goals, dreams, and visions are for your real estate business, what you are currently doing, what your biggest obstacles are. Then from there, I'm going to map out for you together on this call exactly what I recommend that you do to get from where you're at to where it is that you want to go in the quickest, most effective, efficient, profitable manner possible. So by the end of this coaching call, you are going to know exactly what you must do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. And I promise you this, I got your back. I got you covered. I will remove all this all this, overwhelm, all this guesswork, all this confusion that you might have going on in your mind right now. I'm going to get you like a horse with the blinders on so you know exactly what to do to get from where you're at to where it is that you want to go. Now, full disclosure, we're going to spend about 50 minutes getting all of that dialed in, which is plenty enough time. I promise you that. Then from there, we're going to spend a few minutes walking through what my coaching program is, what it entails. And look, if it's a fit for you, great. If not, that is okay too. It's not a fit for everybody. I get it. I understand that. Or there might be other circumstances or reasons why maybe you want to do it. You just can't afford it, right? That's okay. Right? It was like, look, whether it's for you, not for you, if it's not for you, we can still be friends. I promise you, you have my word on this, that this coaching call will be massively beneficial, massively powerful to and for you, whether you ever do any element of coaching with me or not, right? I'm going to get you dialed in either way and get you rock and roll. Everything I do is zero pressure. So I'm not going to hard sell you. I'm not going to beg you. Like I said, if it's for you, cool. If not, that's okay too. We can still be friends. So you got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I am here to help you. But if you don't reach out to me for the help, then I can't help you, right? So if this is something you want to take advantage of, go to www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call, www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. All right, so now let's jump back into, again, leading the overall process here. All right, so I'm going to break this down. We're going to go from lead gen to lead follow-up, to leading your appointments, to leading your clients, to leading your past clients, to leading your agents. All right, so when we're talking about lead gen, there's a couple things here. Number one, you must lead yourself to having the most effective strategies based on the market climate and what we're seeing with the overall economy, with the overall market. As you guys all know, maybe you don't know this yet, but you need to. What works today didn't work 3 years ago, right? What worked 3 years ago isn't working today. So there's going to be many times throughout your career where you've got to pivot. You got to shift things up. Things are always changing. We got to always be adapting strategies, our approaches. So you got to make sure that you're leading yourself to having the most effective strategy and or strategies for that overall market. Then from there, once you have those right lead gen strategies, okay, then from there, leading yourself to making sure that you're doing those things effectively as possible. And again, I'm going to give you guys some examples here. So let's go into open houses. And look, I'm not saying that you got to go out there and do open house. I'm just using this as an example because we all know what they are. We can all relate to this. But I learned a long time ago that if you just give people explicit, easy to follow instructions of what you need and want them to do, which is what we're just trying to, leading is us trying to influence behavior, right? So, hey, I need to get these people to take XYZ actions. Okay, how do I get them to take XYZ actions? Give them explicit, easy, simple to follow instructions. And the vast majority of people follow them without question. The vast majority of people go out there and comply. They go with the grain. They do not go against it. And we just saw this. Right? What did we go through about 4 years ago, the start of about 4 years ago with friggin' the pandemic, right? Okay, overnight, we're told, oh, there's this thing. And overnight, we got to lock down the world. We all got to stay in our homes. We got to be 6 feet apart. We got to wear masks. We got to shut down. And dude, like 90+% of people just comply without asking questions, right? And I'm not making this about that thing, right? However, hopefully that was evidence enough for you to realize that if you provide explicit, simple, easy to follow instructions, that the vast majority of humanity is going to comply. So, I've known this and I discovered this a long time ago, and through the human behavior work that I do and I've done, to go get really good at sales. I learned this a lot of years ago, especially by, studying Robert Cialdini's work. And I've applied this to every aspect of my business, right? So in open houses, here's how I get 85% of plus people to sign in without me ever having to ask. So then I can focus my time on leading the tour process. And I'm leading that tour process in an effective way so I can set the appointment at the end of that tour process. And then if I can't set the appointment at the end of that tour process, then I'm leading the effective follow-up protocol so I can convert at 1 out of 10 with my leads through my open houses, right? 1 out of 15 if you're good, 1 out of 10 if you're exceptional, right? Is the kind of the target numbers that we're looking at for that, right? So then from there, okay, about 6 feet before the front door, I have a retractable sign that I just raise up. It's about 7 feet tall. That retractable sign has steps on it with instructions. It says, welcome to the open house. Then it has, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So it's okay. Step 1, come inside. Step 2, sign in. Step 3, take a look around. Step 4, fall in love. Step 5, write an offer. Then below that says, this house isn't for you. No worries. We can show you others. Okay. So that's already providing explicit instructions. I'm leading that process right there, is providing explicit instructions. Then boom, they hit the front door. At eye level on that front door, I got a sign on there that says, per seller's request, for security purposes, please sign in. So now I already saw on the retractable sign, come inside, sign in, take a look around. Now, boom, they're seeing that sign for security purposes, or for per seller's request for security purposes, please sign in. Now they open the door. Within 4 feet of opening that door, then boom, here's a card table with that same retractable sign, with the same laminated sign, per seller's request for security purposes, please sign in, with 3 clipboards with sign-in sheets. That's how I get 85% plus people to sign in without me ever having to ask. So again, I can focus then on leading the tour process. That allows me to focus then on leading to setting the appointment. And if I can't set the appointment, I'm unable to set the appointment. That then allows me to focus on leading the follow-up protocol to go out there and maximize those conversions. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to assess your different lead generation strategies and be like, okay, am I providing clear, concise, simplistic instructions? Am I doing everything I can to lead this process to get the result that I want? Every single lead generation activity that you do exists to generate a lead. That is it. The only reason an activity exists when it comes to lead gen activities inside your world, inside your business, is to generate leads. That is it. Are you doing everything you possibly can to lead that process? And every little thing. Somebody comes to me, we're having a conversation. Oh, hey, can I have a business card? That to me is a lead gen activity. Oh, hey, you got a business card? Oh, I just ran out. Let me do this. I pull my cell phone real quick. Hey, let me do this. What's your cell number? I'll text you my information real quick so you have it. Okay, cool. I just shot you that. Hey, man, you on Facebook? You on Instagram too? Okay, cool. Let me just look you up there. Now you can, DM me or you can text me, whatever's easiest for you. Right. So now I'm in control of that. Right now, I'm playing offense. I'm in control. I'm not passive, not just give them a card. No one understands, probably going to go in the lint trap, right in the washer machine. Like that, I don't want to play defense. I want to play offense on everything I can. So I'm going to lead the process accordingly. Okay, then now when it comes to lead follow-up, are you leading your database management and your lead follow-up? Because lead follow-up, every lead in your system exists for what reason? Right? So that you can follow up effectively to turn those leads into appointments. In real estate, whether you're going after buyers, sellers, or agent recruits, we are in a 2-step sales process. Step number 1, you set the appointment. Step number 2, you sell your services at the appointment, right? So I'm not selling my services over the phone. Let's just say I'm selling the value of the appointment. Once I book the appointment, now that's where I'm selling my services, right? So, okay, the whole point of that lead being inside my system is for me to set an appointment. Okay, so I'm going to lead that process. I'm going to make sure that I have, based on that timeline and psychology of each lead source, I'm going to make sure I have the best overall follow-up protocol to convert those leads into those appointments. And then let's take it a step for, so pretty much, every lead that I have is going to be on some element of a 1,000-day email text drip campaign, some element of infinite property alerts. I do 5.5 mass emails a month. That's kind of universal. Now the messaging in those campaigns will be different, but that's kind of the universal. Then I have my universal calls. Okay, so, universal no time frame established call means that I haven't talked with them yet. I understand that objective of conversation number 1 with every lead, every prospect, is to identify their goal, identify their timeline, set the appointment if able or appropriate. If unable or appropriate, because I know their goal, because I know their timeline, then now I'm able to dictate and know what the next best follow-up protocol is, whether they're under 6 months, 12 months, 12 plus months out. I know I'm going faster, but I'm trying to get a lot of intel out in a very short amount of time because, I don't want to make this a 3-hour-long podcast, right? But I know what my protocols and processes are. So I'm able to lead those processes. Right? I know when I get them on the phone, right? The whole objective number 1 now, because I'm leading this, man. So I'm leading the conversations. I know the right tonality, the right pre-frames, how to mirror those conversations, how to lead that conversation to be able to get that timeline, to get that goal, sell the value of the appointment, and go out there and maximize my overall conversions with that. So I want you to assess your own business. Okay, what are you doing to lead your follow-up protocol inside your CRM? Are you doing a good job at leading that element of the process, right? For the vast majority out there, this may not be you. I'm just saying the vast majority of agents, team leaders, and broker owners that I have conversations with, like they're leading like shit, right? They're not leading at all, right? They're just reactive. They're Pop-Tarts, they're not lead. They're just winging it. They're not leaders. They're winging it, right? We got to lead each step of the process. Okay. Then now we want to lead our appointments. Okay. So when I do these appointments, I know the whole purpose of a lead in my system is to set an appointment. Right. Then from there, I'm going to lead that appointment. I'm going to lead that buyer consultation. I'm going to lead that listing presentation. Right. So like when I go into a listing, okay, I'm meeting at the kitchen table. We are not meeting. I'm going to lead that process. Now, maybe they don't have a kitchen table because everything's out of their house and they moved out. Okay, fine. Then I'll meet at the kitchen island. But I'm the leader. I'm leading the process. I'm not, the analogy that I always give is like, look, if you go to a dentist, I look at myself as a leader in my life. It's certain aspects of my life, but there's certain aspects of my life that I trust advisors and leaders and other professionals to lead me in that aspect of my life. All right, so my dentist is one of those. I have my dentist. I've got a great, certain attorneys that I do, work with that I need their advisement on, that I expect them to be the true professionals on. So let's just say I go into I don't want a dentist that's like, oh, well, Josh, we were cleaning your teeth and we're doing some x-rays and we found a couple cavities and, we can do this, but we can also do this and we can also do this. It's really up to you. What are your thoughts? No, I don't want some weak, passive leader in that aspect of my life. I want a dentist that's like, hey, Josh, we did some x-rays. We did the, whatever XYZ test. We saw you had 2 cavities. Hey, while you're here, we got you in the seat. This will take 10 minutes. Let's just get these fixed. Let's get these knocked out right here while we're here. Sound good? Sound good? Boom, boom, fire up that drill. Let's go. Yeah, right. That's what I want. Yeah, right. This was several years ago, but I was remodeling one of my office buildings. So I hired this interior designer to come in. And in my head, I knew what I wanted, but I started articulating that to her. And then she looks at me and she's like, you don't want that. I'm like, dude, yes, I do. I just fucking told you that's what I wanted. She goes, no, you don't. Right now, luckily, that was a true professional. She was not an order taker. She was a true professional. She knew I was going to make a mistake. Right now, she backed that up with her expertise and her knowledge. And she walked me through and showed it to me and did all the renderings and showed me how I was going to massively live to regret that mistake and what I wanted instead. And she was 1000% fucking correct and right. She saved me from, I probably would have wasted 50 grand, massively regretted it, but she led the process. That is a true professional. Now, just like with our clients, look, I tell my clients all the time, here, you're the boss. I work for you, right? Like, dude, our clients are the boss. We do work for them. I'm here to do whatever they want and need me to do. But I also tell them, look, I got a fiduciary duty to look out for your best interest. And part of that fiduciary duty is always or can entail me giving you my professional opinion to help ensure that you're not making a possible big mistake. So I'm going to share that. I'm not going to just be an order taker. Right? Don't just be an order taker. I am here to lead them. I'm here to articulate. I'm the best guide to get you from your current living situation, living situation that you want to go to. And I'm also going to be very upfront. Like, I know my craft. I know what needs to happen to get you from point A to point B. And I'm going to articulate what needs to happen. I'm going to articulate what my professional opinion is. And you don't always have to listen to that, but I'm going to make sure damn well that you know what my professional opinion is in a very professional, tactful manner. Not saying you got to be rude to people. Like, there's a way to operate with tact to articulate your opinion and what you got to do. But look, your clients, that's what they're hiring us for, is to go out there and do this, right? So, okay, like, I've got a very dedicated listing presentation, very dedicated buyer consultation that I walk through, that I lead that process, and I'm dictating and controlling the process. Somebody starts walking in, what are your fees? Okay, well, I'm going to handle that. And I'm going to let them know that will be discussed momentarily. But first, we're discussing this, and I'm going to continue with this. Yeah, right. But I'm explaining each stage of the process, so they already know what's coming. So very rarely do I get interrupted with that bull crap, because they already know what's taking place through every phase of the process. Yeah, right. So I'm going to lead that buyer consultation. I'm going to lead that listing presentation. Right. Then from there, okay, when they get done, let's just say I'm on a listing presentation. I'm not just going to sit there in awkward silence and be like, oh, wait for them to, be like, oh yeah, we want to go with you. No, I'm leading this process. I know, and you can call me cocky, you can call me arrogant, but I truly believe with every fiber of my being that there is nobody better in my area on the planet that's going to do a better job for my clients, that's going to look out for their best interest better than my clients, that's going to put their needs first like I will, that's going to do a better, like, dude, so when I'm in there, I'm like, they're going with me, right? If I allow them to not go with me and go sign with one of my competitors, I'm allowing this family to do a massive disservice and potentially hurt themselves, hurt their family, because I know what I bring to the table and I know what a lot of my competitors are like out there. So, okay, once we, go through the whole listing presentation, once we're on the same page when it comes to numbers and we've kind of walked through any possible objections that we had on pricing or whatever, dude, I whip out the listing agreement. I keep leading the process. I wait for their hand to stop me. Okay, so I'm just leading that. Okay, the next step, I brought the listing paperwork with me. Next step is for us to complete this. So let's take a couple seconds. When this is done, we're going to go walk room by room, going through my staging guide, as I already explained to you, to make sure that you know exactly what to do, to make sure your home shows at its best before we get in the, put your home in the market. And I just start completing the listing. I wait for their hand to stop me. Right? Because if we're all in the same arrangement and agreement, if I know what timelines are, we know what pricing is, we're on the same arrangement, I wait for them to stop me. Right? Then if they're like, oh, well, we need to, well, hold on, we just need to take a moment to talk about it. Oh, I apologize. How rude of me. I've been talking this whole time. And sorry, I got a little excited there. And, but you're right. I've been talking this whole time. We've all been in the same room together. You guys haven't had a moment to talk without me in the room. So why don't I do this? I'll excuse myself out front for maybe 10 minutes. I got some text messages to respond to and some emails I can check. I'll come back in after 10 minutes, see if you have any additional questions, and just see where you guys are at, and we can take it from there. Does that sound fair? Okay, cool. Like, that doesn't mean they need a whole day, right? Like, I'm just condensing this, right? And we don't need a whole night. They don't need a whole day. Time kills deals, right? So, but then from there, like a lot of times I've just found, because I used to give them the day, but then I found that a lot of times it was just two spouses, they just want to make sure they're on the same page. Like, we can accelerate this stuff. I'm going to accelerate because I want speed and I want efficiency. Right? Okay, then now we got to lead the client process. Okay, so what are you doing? I have, okay, here's my exact check-in process. All of this is articulated, to our clients. Hey, here's what when they're not under contract, here's what's going to happen. When they're under contract, here's what's going to happen. Here's when you can expect to hear from me. Here's what's going to happen in those reports. I don't want my clients having to, chase me down for updates. I look at this. If my client ever has to reach out to me to ask me what's going on with the file, I already failed them when it comes to communication. They should always know what's going on, why it's taking place, where we're at. So in all my clients, like, we have a very dedicated, follow-up protocol that we follow, so they all know, right? Like, if they're under contract, they know that every Tuesday and every Friday before the end of business day, they're going to get a detailed update from us. Now, if it's anything urgent or extremely important that they need to hear from us beforehand, they're going to hear from us immediately and urgently on those things. But if everything's going smooth, which is, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure everything is going smooth, they're going to hear from me every Tuesday, every Friday before end of business day with a detailed update. They know it's coming. We're all on the same page. People feel better and safer with you when they know how to communicate with you. They know what to expect, right? I have dedicated client message return times, dedicated appointment set times. Everybody's on the same page. I'm leading that element of the process. So I'm not having to be this reactive freaking Pop-Tart where I just pop up every moment that somebody needs me, right? But I'm telling you, you think that you're doing a good service for your clients by always being available for your clients. Number one, if you're always available for your clients, that means you're not busy. Number two, if you're always available for your clients, that means that you're not doing a good job at communicating to them if they have to chase you down for updates. Same thing I tell my vendor partners. Okay, if you're my preferred lender or my preferred title company, and if I have to call you and chase you to email you or call you and chase you down for an update of a client that I spoon-fed to you, okay, you're already on my shit list, right? Like, I lead the process by telling them, hey, if I'm going to update my clients every Tuesday and Friday, I want a detailed update from you every Monday and every Thursday of precisely what is going on in every single one of my clients' deals, transactions, right? So I'm also leading that element of the process. I'm not waiting. I'm not being passive for anybody. I'm going to, I get this all the time from other agents. They're like, oh, dude, our competitors, people just don't answer their phones. They don't take timelines seriously. They just, whatever. They complain about how all these other agents operate. I'm like, look, dude, it just is what it is. right? Like you can only focus on only what you can control. You cannot change that fact that unfortunately there's a lot of unprofessionalism that exists in our industry. A lot of people that just don't give a shit and that they don't pick up they don't answer their phones. They don't, they don't operate how they should, but you're not going to change that fact. So I look at this of, okay, like pretty much I'm just going to take the bull by the horns. Like you go sit on the beach and just go disappear, sit on the beach, drink Mai Tais. I'll just make sure that you get wired your money when the deal closes. Like I'm taking the bull by the horns, man. I don't expect that other agent to do a damn thing, right? Like, and if they do, holy crap, that's just icing on the cake. We got lucky. That was a bonus. I'm not waiting for them. I'm not expecting them to do anything. Yeah, right. Like I'm leading this every element of the process, right? I'm very clear and concise. Again, with all our vendor partners, that hey, here's exactly how I expect. We're going to do business together. I'm leading it. Here's how I want business to be done. Here's what my expectations are for how you are going to, conduct yourself with me, with my clients, what those updates are, right? Like I'm very clear and concise. I know what the hell I want, what the hell I need to make this the best experience, because it's my job to be the unemotional professional to get my clients from where they're at to where they want to go. And I'm going to lead every step of this process, right? Okay. So then from there, now we got, we're leading our clients. We talked about this earlier, kind of in the intro. So we're, with the updates. Okay, how do you lead the price reductions? Now, for a lot of you haven't had to do a lot of price reductions, right? But I'm telling you, there will come a time, probably again, there's a time I've been doing this a long time, dude. What we saw the last decade isn't normal. The shit isn't normal, dude. Right? You're going to have seller markets. I mean, I've been in markets where when we have 15 months of inventory. Okay, when you got listings and it's on average taking 8 months for your listings to sell, and you better have a damn process to lead that process, to keep your sellers from firing you, to keep hanging in the game with you, to keeping them updated, to get the right price reductions, all of those different things. And obviously we have to have a contract to close process that we are leading, all of those different things. Now leading your agents, for those of you that are team leaders and broker owners, same thing here. Like if any of my agents come to me and they don't necessarily need to come to me because I'm articulating the plans and paths, but let's just say they do come to me and they're like, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to go. What do I need to do? I'm not going to go to them like, oh, well, you could do this, but you could also do this, but you could also do this. It's really, it's really up to you. That just vagueness creates more confusion. And that maybe there's truth to that. Look, there's a lot of different options that you can do. But if I'm you in your shoes and I want to get from where you're at to where it is that you want to go, here is exactly precisely what I'm going to do day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out. So if I have a brand new agent that comes to me and says, hey, I want to be listing a house a week, closing a house a month within 6 months, and I want to stay that consistently. So I'm popping 48 deals a year consistently within 6 months from now. Okay, I'm going to give them and deliver the exact roadmap. Here's who you call. Here's the exact scripts. Here's what your daily schedule is going to look like. Your weekly schedule is going to look like. Here's your KPIs. Here's everything you need to have in place. And it's going to take me about 30 minutes to articulate that to them. So then they know exactly, like if there just be a horse with the blinders on to go get that dialed in and get that rocking and rolling. Vagueness does not serve your people. Just like with buyers, sellers, whatever. It's, hey, I'm here to lead this overall process. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to end it here. If you need help leading yourself into what the best strategy is for you to get you from where you're at to exactly where it is that you want to go, just like I do with my agents or my broker owner clients, my team leader clients, my agent clients, right? Whatever it is, whether it be my coaching clients or my real estate company. If you're looking for that same one-on-one strategy call like I do with my agents, typically I charge $1,000 an hour for these, for those that aren't with my organization, but I'm doing these for a limited time for free right now for all you amazing GSD mode peeps out there. If this is something you want to take advantage of, right? Schedule this 100% free, 100% zero pressure free coaching call with me personally on Zoom. Well, I will get you dialed in. When I talk about where your business is at, where your 12-month goals are, what your long-term goals are, what you're doing, what your biggest obstacles are, I'm going to map out precisely exactly what you need to do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. I will eliminate all the guesswork. I will make it where you were like a damn horse with the blinders on, where you know exactly what to do to get from A to Z in the quickest, most effective, efficient, profitable manner time possible. But again, I can't help you if you don't reach out for the help. It's like if you're drowning in quicksand, like I see you, I'm throwing you the rope. Like, here's the rope, dude. You just got to grab the rope. I will pull you out. I will help you. I'll get you dialed in, man. I got your back. I promise you I will get you dialed in. But if you choose not to grab that rope, then you got nobody to blame but yourself or drown. So if you do not know exactly what to do to get from where, and I don't care if you're a brand new agent, or an individual agent, maybe doing this for some time, you're closing, 30 deals a year and you want to get to 100 deals a year, or if you're a team leader or a broker owner, you're doing 300 deals a year and you want to get to 1,000 a year. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I've yet to have anybody, regardless of what level that they're at, where I haven't been able to get them dialed in, right? I've seen a lot, done a lot in this business. Promise you, I can get you rock and rolling. I can get you helping regardless of what level that you're at. I will get you dialed in where you'll know exactly what to do to get from where you're at to where it is that you want to go. So again, if you want to do this, www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful. Keep leading the process, keep kicking ass, and I will see you next time. Peace.